Welcome to the Continuous Improvement Lab. We've all seen it happen, right? A great new system gets rolled out, it's full of promise, but then a few months later, it just kind of fizzles out. Well, today we're going to unpack exactly why that happens and how getting the culture right is the real secret to making any management operations system, or MOS, actually stick.
And hey, it's a problem that leaders are wrestling with all over the world. This is Season 3, Episode 30, and it's just amazing to have a growing community tuning in from over 40 countries to tackle these challenges together. We're so grateful you're here.
And speaking of our community, here's a quick stat for you. Less than 25% of you who listen regularly are actually subscribed. So if you're getting value from this, please do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe or follow button. It really helps us with the streaming algorithms so we can keep bringing you these best-in-class business cultural insights.
A lot of what we're going to talk about today builds on the core ideas from our business playbooks, Shift Happens, and the newly released Culture by Design. If you want to dive even deeper, you can find them on Amazon and other online bookstores. But for now, let's jump right in. Okay, we've all been there. A new management operating system gets launched with a ton of energy. You've got new meetings on the calendar, new dashboards, the whole shebang. But a few months down the line, it's just another thing to do. This quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of why that happens. Embed it into the culture. It sounds fantastic, doesn't it? But what does that really mean when you're on the ground dealing with the day-to-day chaos of a Monday morning? How do you do that? Well, today we're going to break that down step by step. We'll start by looking at the common traps. Then we'll talk about why culture is the secret sauce. We'll dive into a real-world turnaround story, see the proof across different industries, and finally, we'll distill it all down so you can apply these lessons yourself. So let's start with a problem that is just way too common, the implementation trap. This is that moment when a really promising new system just stalls out, and for your teams, it becomes nothing more than a check-the-box exercise. This slide really nails the difference. See, a process focus is all about following the steps, reporting the KPIs, because you have to. But a culture focus? That's about truly believing in the system, using those KPIs to drive real action. It's the difference between, another program we have to do, and this is just the way we do things here to win. So this is the absolute key. A successful MOS has very little to do with the tools or the fancy templates. It is all about fundamentally shifting the way your team thinks and acts every single day. That's the real goal. Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. Let's dig into a fantastic case study from a company called Vertex Precision Manufacturing. So here's the situation at Vertex. They had an MOS in place to improve how they made complex aerospace components, but it had totally flatlined. Those daily meetings became a formality, the system lost all its momentum, and people just slipped right back into their old habits. Sound familiar? So what did they do? They knew they had to fix the culture. They focused on 3 critical things. They went back and actively re-engaged the teams. They had leaders start consistently modeling the behaviors they wanted to see. And, this is crucial, they gave people the power to actually own and adapt the system themselves. And the results? They were absolutely incredible. In just 4 months of this cultural push, they saw a 19% improvement in first-pass yield and a 14% jump in their overall equipment effectiveness. Now that's the power of shifting the culture. This is exactly what we mean by cultural adoption. It's that magic moment when a system stops being a top-down mandate and it becomes a shared belief. At Vertex, problem-solving suddenly became everyone's job, not just something the manager had to worry about. Okay, so you might be thinking, that's great for a factory, but what about my industry? Well, this isn't just a manufacturing story. Not at all. The data clearly shows that this principle applies across a whole range of industries. I mean, we're seeing the same exact story play out in manufacturing for sure, but also in supply chain, in engineering, and even in marketing and customer service teams. The underlying challenge is universal. Just look at this research. When you get the culture right, you see a 20% jump in your operational consistency and a 17% increase in employee engagement. And you know what? Those 2 things go hand in hand. And the benefits are tangible. We're talking a 15% reduction in project delays for engineering firms, an 18% improvement in on-time delivery for supply chains, and a 12% increase in customer satisfaction. The takeaway is crystal clear. Culture drives performance. So what does this all mean for you and your team? Let's boil this down into the one key takeaway you need to remember. At the end of the day, it's this. As a leader, your job isn't just to roll out the tools. It's to actively shape the mindset. And you do that by consistently coaching, by recognizing the right behaviors the moment you see them, and by empowering your team with real ownership.
So I'll leave you with the question to take back to your team. Is your management system just another process you have to follow? Or is it the way you actually win together?
Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. If you want to learn more or get in touch with our team, you can find us at karasinnovations.com.
And hey, if you like this, be sure to check out our other show, The Systems Thinker Show. A very special thanks to our executive producer and founder, Lanier Johnson. We'll see you next time.